Hello and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Joris and today I am here with a video about our dollar dividends that are turning into a snowball that is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and they are allowing us to buy EMHD. And how it all started? Well, we went over our ETF portfolio, and in 2023 we only had SGPX or ISPA, and we thought of diversifying our ETF portfolio in such a way that we received more or less the same dividends every month. So our SGPX percentage needed to come down. And while we were going over all the different possibilities of ETFs, we also came across the emerging market ETF of Invesco, the FTSE Emerging Markets High Dividend Low Volatility ETF. And we immediately decided that is the one for us. We really like how it is performing, also how it is set up. And the only problem that we had was that we needed US dollar in order to be able to buy it on the Swiss stock exchange. And we didn't want to convert Swiss francs into US dollar to do that. So we also looked at other possibilities and we came up with a plan to buy GLDV and VHYL. GLDV is also known as ZPRG, and those two ETFs would go great with SGPX and actually form our core portfolio of our ETF portfolio. So ISPA, ZPRG, and VHYL are then our core ETFs. And we were already investing in SGPX for years, and that one was in euros, and it pays out quarterly dividends, and that one is in January, April, July, and October. We added then GLDV because that one is paying out in February, May, August, and November, and VHYL is paying out in March, June, September, and December. In that way, we were going to receive more or less a dividend payment in every month, because VHYL is sometimes a bit strange. Sometimes it pays out. Ex-dividend is certainly in September or June, but sometimes it pays only out in beginning of the next month. So you need to be careful about that, but it's more or less evenly spread out. And with our portfolio plan, we also have, we planned for even payouts in every month, but we are far from there, as GPX is still making up almost 70% of our portfolio, and our EMHD needs to become 6%, and we are now with our second buy, we are at 1%. So far from where it needs to be, but we are slowly progressing toward it. Also, GLDV and VHYL, we can buy those on the Swiss stock market in Swiss francs. So we are making our portfolio less euro dependent, which is a good thing. And they pay out their dividends in dollars, and that is what we needed, of course, to be able to buy EMHD. So we started to buy them, and that was in the end of October of 2023. On the 20th, we bought GLDV, 40 pieces, for a total of 993.10 Swiss francs. And VHYL we bought on the 25th of October of 2023, so 973.94 Swiss francs in total. That was the period where I was putting too much money into the stock market and really putting us on the edge. If you saw an earlier video of mine, I will link it down in the comments down below. That was a mistake. I'm not doing that anymore, you know that. Now every month it's just 900 Swiss francs, but on that time, I was a bit foolish. But okay, it started a snowball of our dollar dividend stream. So we could start accumulating it and then buy EMHD eventually without having to convert Swiss francs into dollars. In January of 2024, I also added XYLF to our ETF portfolio as another dollar income stream. So there I'm not naming it a dividend stream, but an income stream, because it's really important that you emphasize the difference between an income ETF like XYLF. It's a covered call ETF that provides you with an income stream. It's not the same thing as SGPX, GLDV, and VHYL. For what it does, it is excellent, but it's not for everybody. So, not financial advice, just the way my wife and I are doing it. And we did that to speed up the process and also to up our exposure to the American market a little bit more, because I saw that when we went through with our portfolio that our European market share would be more or less 45%, and with adding XYLF we were lowering that to 40%. So the first buy, after putting in 11,112.16 Swiss francs, here you can see all our buys that we did of GLDV, VHYL and XYLF in the 16 months that it took us to accumulate enough dollars to be able to buy EMHD. So yeah, it's a lot of money. I know that. And you see that I made here in this period, I made a lot of mistakes of putting too much money into the stock market. So don't do that. Stick to your budget. It's really important. Don't put you too tight in your budget so that you don't have to worry about paying your bills. And after collecting $500.30 in dividends, so here there are the first 12 that we received. You can pause the video. I'm not going to go over them, of course. And here are the next 12 payments, dividend payments that we received in dollar. And those amounts accumulate up to $500.30 in dividends. And I was always saying in every update, yeah, I'm hoping to reach the $500 mark so that I can buy the first time EMHD and then have more or less 1% of costs when buying it. And finally the day came. So on the 19th of February of 2025, earlier this year, so after almost 16 months, we finally bought EMHD. So we bought 21 pieces at the price of $23.51. The cost was $5.95 with tax included, and the total amount was $499.66. So with the $500.30 we just had enough. It left us with 64 cents. But okay, earlier in the end of December, we received also 17 cents in on our Swiss quote account. So that left us in total with 81 dollar cents on our Swiss quote account. And then we could start saving up dollars again. And now we had GLDV, VHYL, XYLF, and of course the 21 shares of EMHD to provide us with dividends in dollars. And they kept coming in. And we also kept buying, of course. So after putting in another 4,501.68 Swiss francs. So here are those buys. And you see here, I never made the mistake again of going over 900 Swiss francs per month. So I'm sticking to our plan. My wife is happy about that as well. And we also received more dividends, of course, because we put more money in and we already had a lot of shares before. Here you see the dividends that we received. So of XYLF EMHD, because that one contributes now as well. So the first dividend that we got paid by EMHD was $4.47. It's not a lot, but it's the small amounts that keep adding up, and this made that we could make our second buy a lot faster. So we had 81 cents, and in the past 7 months we accumulated $481.14. So in total $481.95 was in our Swiss quote account. And yesterday, so today is the 19th, and in the update of the end of this month, I will give the normal buy picture that I always give for my buys when I buy an ETF. But here I don't think it's that important. But I bought 18 pieces for our ETF portfolio at a price of 26.35. So you see that it had a nice gain, this ETF, in the past 7 months. And the cost rose to $7.08. And in total it cost us $481.38. So I couldn't buy one more because then I would be above $500, and then the costs are even higher. So I wasn't going to do that. But yeah, I was really happy because I was in the train driving home to my children to prepare the food, and I took the train. And when I was on the train, I received a message, hey, you received the dividend of Invesco. So I saw, okay, I have $481.95. And when I calculated it for 26.35 US dollars, I just was left with 57 dollar cents on our Swiss quote account. So I gave in the order. It took about 20 minutes before it was executed. And because, yeah, at the time when I entered the buy order, the asking price was in fact 26.40 US dollar. But I saw the stock market dipping a little bit, so I thought, okay, I'm going to risk it and put it at 26.35, because 26.40 would have been too much. And yeah, I'm a cheap goat, so I just went with 26.35. And yeah, it took 20 minutes, but after those 20 minutes, the order was executed, and now we have 39 shares of EMHD. And you can also see that our first buy compared to our second buy, the costs went up, but in fact, the costs are still 5 Swiss francs. It's just the fact that it's, yeah, the dollar lost a lot of value compared to the Swiss francs. So maybe it was a bad idea after all to just accumulate the ETFs that give us dollars as dividends to buy EMHD. Yeah, in the short run, it was maybe a bad decision, but in the long run, I think it's all going to play out. And the first buy took us almost 16 months to gather enough dollars to be able to buy it, and now we were able to buy it in only 7 months. So this is just excellent and shows you how the dividend snowball is rolling faster and faster for our EMHD ETF. And how long do you think it will take us to buy the next EMHD ETFs? Let me know in the comment section down below. And with that being said, I thank you for watching to this one. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that like button as well. It helps out the channel enormously. With that being said, thank you for watching to this one and see you on the next one on my YouTube channel. Bye.